This is your marketing news update for the week of February 6th, 2026. Three big marketing stories for you this week. Meta dropped earnings that reveal where digital advertising is headed, and it's not where most marketers think. Reddit just launched an AI ad platform that's crushing performance metrics, and TikTok's ownership structure just flipped in a way that's going to impact everyone running marketing campaigns on the platform. Let's go. Our first story, Meta's $60 billion quarter reveals the AI ad playbook. Meta just reported Q4 2005 earnings last week, January 28th, and the numbers are big. $59.89 billion in quarterly revenue, up 24% year over year. But here's what matters for you. Ad impressions jumped 18% in Q4 alone, and the average price per ad only went up 6%. If impressions are up 18%, but pricing is only up 6%, that means Meta figured out how to show users way more ads without destroying user experience. How? AI. Meta doubled the GPUs training their ad ranking model called GEM or GEM. They deployed something called sequence learning architecture that uses longer user interaction histories. The result is a 3.5% lift in ad clicks on Facebook and more than 1% gain in conversions on Instagram. And the new runtime model drove 3% increase in conversion rates across the feed, stories, and reels. Those sound like small numbers, but when you're operating at meta scale, a 3% improvement translates into billions in additional revenue. And even a few points improvement, we all know as marketers, means lower customer acquisition costs and higher contribution margins. Meta's AI is getting scary good at predicting who will convert and serving those people your ads at the exact right moment. If you're not seeing the performance you want with Meta ads right now, the problem isn't the platform. It's that someone else is feeding the AI better data. Because the algorithm's working. The data at Q4 shows it. Here's the other thing that matters. Meta's betting the farm on AI infrastructure. They're spending $115 billion to $135 billion on capital expenditures in 2026. That's nearly double what they spent in 2025. Mark Zuckerberg said on the earnings call that he expects to release new AI models over the coming months. Translation? Meta's ad targeting is about to get even more sophisticated. If you're a performance marketer, now's the time to audit your tracking. Make sure your conversion events are clean, because the better data you feed Meta's AI, the more efficiently it'll spend your budget. Our second marketing story this week, Reddit Max campaigns launch with 37% cost per click drop. Reddit just made a massive play in the AI advertising space. Last month at CES in Las Vegas, they launched Max campaigns, and the early numbers are impressive. A case study from Brooks Running showed they used Max campaigns to promote their Ghost 17 running shoe. The results? 37% decrease in cost per click, 27% more clicks over a 21-day campaign. And here's the kicker. They made zero manual changes during that entire period. Across the 600 plus advertisers who tested this in alpha, the average results were 17% lower cost per acquisition, 27% more conversions compared to their business as usual campaigns. Those aren't marginal gains. Those are game-changing numbers. So what is Max campaigns on Reddit? It's Reddit's answer to Meta's Performance Max and Google's automated campaigns. Full AI-powered automation that handles targeting, bidding, creative selection, placements, and budget allocation. But here's what makes it different from Google and Meta's black box approaches. Reddit's calling it open box reporting. They're giving you a feature called Top Audience Personas. The AI clusters users who see your ads into actual personas, things like new parents or home cooks or fitness enthusiasts. And then it shows you what topics those personas are currently discussing on Reddit. So you're not just getting performance metrics, you're getting insights into the actual conversations driving purchase decisions. That's powerful because Reddit's users aren't scrolling passively like they do on Instagram. They're actively asking questions like, What's the best running shoe for flat feet? Or which gaming laptop should I buy under $1,500? High intent research happening in real time. And now you can automate your way into these conversations. Here's 4 reasons why this matters for marketers. First, Reddit's ad revenue is approaching $2 billion annually. User growth is up 19% year over year. This isn't a niche platform anymore. Second, the barrier to entry just dropped. You don't need a dedicated Reddit specialist to run campaigns now. Max Campaigns automates the heavy lifting, which means smaller brands can compete. Third, Reddit's community intelligence gives you data the other platforms can't. You're seeing what people are actually talking about in the communities, not just demographic buckets, real conversations with context. And fourth, early adoption advantage. Reddit's advertising ecosystem is less saturated than Meta and Google. CPMs are lower, competition is lighter. The brands that build Reddit competency now will have a significant edge when other advertisers flood in. Here's your tactical marketing move. If you're in a consideration-based category, anything where people research before buying, test Reddit Max Campaigns. Allocate 10 to 15% of your performance marketing budget as a controlled test. Don't expect it to replace Meta or Google overnight, but track 3 things. Cost per acquisition compared to other platforms, the quality of traffic, are Reddit users converting at higher rates, and the audience insights from top audience personas. Use that data to inform your creative strategy and messaging on all platforms. Reddit's betting that conversation-based advertising is the future. And based on the early numbers, they might be right. Our third marketing story this week, TikTok's Oracle deal closed, and it changes your marketing platform strategy. On January 22nd, TikTok finalized a deal that ended years of regulatory uncertainty. And if you're running campaigns on TikTok, you need to understand what just changed. Here's the basics of the structure. A new entity was formed called TikTok USDS Joint Venture LLC. Oracle, Silver Lake, and MGX each hold 15%. That's 45% total as managing investors. Another 35% is owned by 8 other investors, including Dell CEO Michael Dell's family office and the trading firm Susquehanna. And BitDance kept 19.9%, just under the 20% threshold required by law. This isn't just a paper shuffle. Oracle is now the security partner managing data audits, algorithm oversight, and compliance. The content recommendation algorithm, the thing that makes TikTok addictive, is being retained on U.S. user data. BitDance will no longer have direct access to U.S. user information. For 170 million U.S. users, TikTok is now operating under a fundamentally different structure. So what does this mean for us marketers? First, platform stability. For the past year, brands have been hesitant to go all in on TikTok because of the ban threat. That uncertainty is now gone. Second, data governance. With Oracle managing security and compliance, expect more transparency around how user data is handled. That could actually improve targeting accuracy over time. Third, the algorithm might diverge. The US version of TikTok is being retained on US data. That means what works on TikTok in Europe or Asia might not translate directly to the US market anymore. You need to treat US TikTok as its own distinct platform now. Fourth, potential feature changes. The press release mentioned that the U.S. entity will make independent product decisions based on American market needs. Translation, new features might roll out in the U.S. first or exclusively. Here's the tactical marketing implication. If you paused or scaled back TikTok because of the ban threat, now's the time to reevaluate. The platform has regulatory clearance to operate long-term. And with over 170 million monthly active users in the US, it's too big to ignore if your audience is there. But keep a close eye on product updates over the next few months. This ownership transition could bring changes to the creator marketplace, e-commerce tools, and ad formats. The brands that adapt fast will have first mover advantage. Let me tie all 3 stories together for you. Meta's Q4 earnings prove that AI-powered ad targeting isn't hype. It's delivering measurable lift in clicks and conversions right now. Reddit's Max Campaigns just entered the automated advertising space with 37% lower cost per click and 17% lower CPA. plus unique audience insights from actual community conversations. And TikTok's ownership structure just stabilized, which means it's time to commit or walk away. But sitting on the fence is no longer a marketing strategy. Here's the through line. AI automation is reshaping advertising across every major platform. Meta's using it to predict conversions, Reddit's using it to surface high-intent conversations, and TikTok is positioned to use AI for better targeting and content recommendation. The marketers who win in 2026 aren't the ones with the biggest marketing budgets. They're the ones feeding platforms the best data, testing new channels early, and adapting to platform shifts faster than their competitors. Your marketing move this coming week? Pick one of these 3 stories and dig into the platform and see how you can improve your marketing. Your marketing move.